is continue to be blown by how many parents underestimate concussions. They believe that concussions mean they're blacked out or they're unconscious, and that, that's when there's a true concussion. I actually had a person the other day call, and the child had a fractured skull, had suffered a fractured skull. Everybody thought that they congratulated because it's amazing that he's doing so well. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And I truly did TBI education to the parent. And it wasn't because they were, the doctors had seen him. They didn't refer. So this is something that is 100% with so many active kids in sports these days. The concussion is a big, big factor. I will do an evaluation. I used to not have specific wording on my intake form that says, has your child suffered a concussion? And I would go through my evaluation and I'd be like, the whole time I'm doing it, when I come to the conclusion, I'm like, this kid has a concussion. So I would follow up by saying, has your child fallen? Have they, and lo and behold, absolutely 100%, there was a significant fall. There was a significant injury. And that is exactly why what the profile was looking to me as a TBI, as a concussion. So that is real, because that 100% affects the learning aspect.
Yeah, and connecting about concussions too, I think a lot of people underestimate how often it happens, and especially with young kids, because they're so young. Some of them have that idea that they're Superman, that nothing can ever happen to them because they're just filled with energy and they're very playful. And oftentimes kids just fall and they get back up. But it's not until a few hours later that they feel dizzy, and then they get told to lay down. They have headaches. That very severe things can look very mild. And kids also don't tell the whole story because they don't have the language to describe, you could say my head hurts, and it's very easy to write off as they just have a headache, take some Tylenol. But there's a lot more that's going on. There's some examples about how to tease out symptoms of concussion that may look like ADHD but really aren't, and what you do with those kinds of cases.
Yes, and that's one thing I want to say for teachers out there that are listening. The best thing, I get asked all the time, so what can we do? And I said, the best thing you can do is say you don't know if you don't know. I want people to understand that, I am unique in the fact that my background is medical. So the medical part is so important right now, and we aren't educating the teachers and the parents to the degree that they need to be. For example, I get asked all the time, so what can we do? And I said, the best thing you can do is say you don't know if you don't know. I want people to understand that, I am unique in the fact that my background is medical. So the medical part is so important right now, and we aren't educating the teachers and the parents to the degree that they need to be. For example, you aren't familiar with concussions, you don't really know what to look for. Case in point, there was a student that I had that was in high school. He kept taking the ACT and he just couldn't get past. He couldn't score high enough to get to the college that he wanted to get to. He had suffered 4 concussions. He was a football player. He wasn't allowed to play football anymore. And he went to see a therapist because he was sad. When he came to me, he said, they are treating me for depression, but I'm just sad. I'm sad because I can't play football, but that is not what is causing me to struggle in school. I didn't have this struggle before the concussions. And he knew that, but nobody else was listening. And I did the evaluation and 100% saw major impact on his working memory. So we worked specifically on his working memory. His mom and dad did it pretty much as a last effort, but didn't really believe it. A matter of fact, his mom kept after me the entire time I was treating him, just not believing that this was going to work. And at the end of it, when we had to do the follow-up, I thought, I always review with the parents and go over everything. And I thought, she's going to let me have it. And what happened was, she came in and she burst into tears and she said, "You changed the life of my son. He came to me and said, 'I'm not stupid, Mom. For the first time in my life, I don't feel stupid.'" He took the ACT, he got the score he needed, and he's at, he should actually be graduating now from college. He went to the college that he did, and he's thrived ever since. And I did not see him more than 25 hours. So when you think that it can't, 25 hours of intervention can't change anything, it can change a lot if you do it correctly and you know what to target.
Awesome. Kyra, thank you so much for your time today. If you are a parent or a teacher with a smart but struggling student, please contact Kyra at www.thecognitiveemporium.com. You'll be able to book a 10-minute free consultation where Kyra can go over your students' needs and go over a course of action that might help you and your family and your classroom. Kyra, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.